Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Tuesday. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and today we're going to take a look at the forecast for the next few days, including our one-day heat wave coming up tomorrow on Wednesday, and then we're going to take a look at the forecast for the few days before and after that as well. So starting here with the satellite imagery this Tuesday morning, you can see we have some lenticular clouds there along the north slopes of the Cascades. Got a lot of high clouds moving across Western Washington today. You can see how those kind of form an upside-down U shape moving up over Washington, British Columbia, and down here over parts of eastern Washington, Idaho, and Montana. They're all kind of going around this ridge that's building right here, so we may not have too many clouds as this ridge starts to build in, but expect some cloudy intervals today, mainly high clouds, some filtered sunshine. But it should be overall a day in the 70s. We'll take a look at that more in a minute here. You can see with the European model, you see this ridge building in. You can see as we go in to Wednesday how that ridge strengthens, and that is going to bring us that warm day on Wednesday. Then you can see it moves off to the east pretty quickly as we go into Thursday, allowing for a tiny bit of troughing to move in here. We get some brief rain there on Thursday. However, as you can see, we go into the weekend and another ridge starts to build across eastern Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, and that will bring some warmer temperatures to western Washington and will keep us dry as we go into the weekend there. But then you see, as that ridge moves off to the east, it opens the door for some troughing and for some rain as we go into the first day of June there. You can see how that troughing kind of opens up across western Washington going into the end of Sunday there, which is June 1st. So taking a look at precipitation type, you can see we're dry all the way through the day Wednesday, but as we go into early Thursday morning, you can see we've got a dramatic marine push coming. Got a few thunderstorms that are going to pop off over the southern and central Cascades as we go into early Thursday morning. You can see that there. And then we have some rain moving onto the coast. The thunderstorms should wrap up by the time we get into the morning hours. Get some rain showers at times through the day Thursday across western Washington, and then that ends pretty quickly as we go into Friday morning, and then you can see we remain mostly dry all the way into Saturday evening. Then we get some brief showers moving through into Sunday morning, and that will end by the time we get to early Monday. So taking a look at high temperatures here in the National Blend of Models, we're looking at all of Washington here and some of Oregon as well. You can see today with those high clouds moving through, we'll still have highs from Seattle northward in the upper 60s to mid 70s, from Seattle southward in the mid to upper 70s, and then from areas Kelso southward in the upper 70s to low 80s, maybe a few mid 80s around the Portland metro, and you can see even the coast in the upper 70s or upper 60s to low 70s. Now take a look at tomorrow, just a really warm day across the entirety of the interior lowlands. You're looking at highs in the upper 70s to mid 80s. Some of these mountain valleys may reach the upper 80s to low 90s possibly, and some of the Cascade foothills and some of the valleys in the Puget Sound area may reach the upper 80s briefly as well. You can see from Olympia down to Portland, you're looking at highs in the mid 80s there, maybe 86 or so around Portland, 83 in Olympia. We'll zoom in at Puget Sound here in a moment. And you can see on the coast highs again in the upper 60s, and then parts of eastern Washington reaching the 90s there. Taking a look here as we go into Thursday, though, huge decrease in temperatures across western Washington. Areas from Seattle northward drop to the low to mid 60s on Thursday. Seattle southward dropping into the upper 60s and maybe some low 70s around Portland, and the coast drops to the upper 50s to low 60s, all with that marine push moving through, bringing those showers across the area as we go into Thursday. Then you can see we rebound pretty quickly there on Friday, with highs increasing to the upper 60s to mid 70s from Seattle northward, and mid 70s to low 80s from Seattle southward, including mid 80s around Portland and Vancouver. And then you can see on the coast, we'll get back up into the mid 60s to low 70s as we go into Friday. Cool down a little bit as we go into Saturday for western Washington. Highs in the mid 60s to mid 70s across the area, and then mid 70s to low 80s from Olympia southward. And you can see on the coast there on Saturday, highs in the low 60s. Then as we go into Sunday, we have some more showers move through that cool down the entire area with highs in the mid to upper 60s and then low 60s on the coast. Just wanted to do this real quick, zoom in on western Washington for Wednesday. You can see those highs as you go Seattle northward, areas west of I-5 near the water, mainly in the mid-70s to low 80s, but areas east of I-5 from Everett north, they're in the mid-80s, maybe near 90 there in Darrington. We'll see. In those valleys, you can get some pretty warm temperatures. From Everett southward, you can see highs in the low to mid-80s, and then again, generally east of I-5, you get those warmer temperatures, especially in some of the foothills and some of the valleys like North Bend there, getting up into the upper 80s most likely. But you're seeing temperatures reported here, 85 for downtown Seattle, 85 for Joint Base Lewis McChord, 83 in Olympia, 82 in Bremerton, 84 down there in Graham and Puyallup, and then you can see highs in the mid-80s down the I-5 corridor, and even in the upper 60s to low 70s possibly on the coast. So it will definitely be the warmest day of this year so far, and possibly our first 85-plus day for parts of this Puget Sound metro areas. And then taking a look at total rain that we're expecting there on Thursday, you can see as that marine push moves in, you could get nearly a half inch of rain for some of the north and central coast, and about a third of an inch for some of the rest of the coast, and about a tenth of an inch to maybe a quarter of an inch of rain for the southwest interior and for areas Everett northward, and then Seattle Metro and Tacoma getting about a tenth of an inch. You can see a little bit of higher amounts possible in some of the Cascades with some of those thunderstorms moving through. Also thunderstorm potential up here in the North Cascades in eastern Washington as well. And if we take a look at the lightning flash rate, you can see where some of these thunderstorms pop up as we go through the day Wednesday into Wednesday night. You can see early Thursday morning, chance of thunderstorms there around Mount Rainier, and that continues up into eastern Washington as we go through the day Thursday, and then really bigger potential for thunderstorms there over the northeast part of Washington state there on Thursday evening into British Columbia. That diminishes pretty quickly though. Now taking a look at the European model ensemble, just wanted to point this out. You can see really good temperature agreement here amongst all the ensemble members with those highs in the mid-80s for SeaTac Airport there on Wednesday, and then a good agreement as well on that big drop in temperatures to the upper 60s to low 70s there on Thursday. So Wednesday here, Thursday here, you can see the big difference in temperatures. And then showing that on the map here, you can see this is 24-hour temperature change from 1 p.m. Wednesday to 1 p.m. Thursday. And you can see you have drops of 15 to 25 degrees over 24 hours across the entirety of the I-5 corridor and the Cascade Mountains there as well. So that you will notice a huge change from Wednesday to Thursday as we go from a hot day to a much cooler day with a chance of rain. And I'll talk about that more in tomorrow's video as well. And then again, our outlooks going into the first 5 days of June, slight chance of above average temperatures for western Washington as we go to the first 5 days of June, and near normal chances for precipitation there, so nothing really too significant expected. Be sure to follow me here on YouTube, subscribe, like, and share, and then follow me on Blue Sky, on Twitter, and on the Western Washington Weather Facebook group for more updates. All the links to these are in the description, so be sure to check those out. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.